Good morning, students. Let's start with the first chapter of our physical chemistry, that is Unit 2 Solutions. First, let's see the points which we are going to discuss in the chapter. Introduction. First, we will see the various terms: solution, then binary, ternary, quaternary, solute, solvent, dilute solution, concentrated solution. All these we are going to discuss. Then, types of solutions. How many types of solutions can be there? Then, ways of expressing concentration of the solution. What is concentration of solution? Amount of solute present in the given amount of solution, and what are the different ways that we will discuss. Then solubility. What do we mean by solubility? The maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in 100 gram of solvent, and solubility of solids in liquids, gases in liquids. These 2 points we have to focus. And when we will be discussing solubility of gases in liquid, we will discuss an important law, that is Henry's law. Then the next one is vapor pressure, liquid solution, solid liquid solution. When we will be discussing the vapor pressure of liquid solution, we will be discussing the very important law, Raoult's law. Then next, colligative properties. The properties which do not depend on the quality of the particles, but they depend on the quantity of the particles. And there are 4 colligative properties which we are going to discuss. First one is lowering of vapor pressure. Second one is elevation of the boiling point. Third one it is depression in the freezing point. And the fourth one is osmosis. Okay, osmosis and osmotic pressure. And with that, we will calculate the molar mass of the compound. Then in the last but not least, abnormal molar mass. There are certain compounds which in solution either they dissociate or associate, and they changes the values of these colligative properties. So all these points we have to discuss in this chapter. Let's start with the term solution. What do we mean by solution? To what we are using the term solution? In class 9 we have discussed there are 3 types of solutions: true solution, colloidal solution, and the suspension. On the size of the particles, if it is in the range of 1 to 1000 nanometer, then it is constituting the colloidal solution. Okay, and if it is below 1 nanometer, what is below? The size of the particles. So if it is below 1 nanometer, then it will be termed as a true solution. And if the size is above 1000 nanometer, then it will be called as suspension. Okay, so true solution, it is where the size of particles it is lesser than 1 nanometer, and true solution is also called as a solution. Okay, now homogeneous. Homo say geneous composition. That means uniform composition throughout. In the true solution, the composition of the solution remains same throughout the solution. There is no boundary of separation between the different components. You cannot separate the different components. Like if you dissolve glucose in water, they will intermix with each other, and you cannot say yes, this is glucose and this is water. Okay, homogeneous solution of 2 or more pure substances, pure compounds, or you can say components. If there are 2 components present, then you will use the term binary solution. If 3 components are present, then you will use the term ternary. If 4, then you can use quaternary, and so on depending on the number of components. Then solute and solvent. You all know, if we are talking about a binary solution, the component which is present in a smaller proportion, that is called as solute, and the one which is present in larger proportion, it will be termed as a solvent. Then of course we are also using very frequently the word dilute and concentrated. Dilute solution, concentrated solution, it is depending on the amount of solute present in the solution. If it is very small in amount, that is called as concentrated solution. If it is present in a very small amount, then we will use the word dilute solution. And if the amount of solute is appreciable, if it is in a proper amount, then it is concentrated solution. See students, these two are the relative terms. Okay, so solution can be determined. If the solvent is gas, then the physical state of the solution will be gaseous. So what are gaseous solution? In which the solvent it is gas. What are liquid solution? In which the solvent is liquid. What are solid solutions? In which the solvent it is solid. Okay. Now we are talking about the types of solution. On the basis of different solute and solvent, we are categorizing the 9 types. We are identifying 9 types of solutions. Gas in gas. Okay. So if we are talking about a mixture of hydrogen and nitrogen gas. So here it is also gaseous. This is also gaseous. So this is an example of gaseous solution in which both solute and solvent are present in the gaseous form. Liquid in gas. Here we can take the example of chloroform in nitrogen gas. If we are taking solid in gas, then we can take the example of camphor in nitrogen gas. Okay. Now, if we are talking about gas in liquid, so here we can take the example of oxygen gas dissolved in water. Oxygen in water. If you are talking liquid, that means ethanol in water. And if you are talking about solid in liquid, suppose you are taking glucose in water. So here the component which is present in a smaller amount, it is glucose, solute, water, solvent. Solid solution, gas in solid. Here we can take the example of mixture of hydrogen in palladium. Liquid in solid. Here we take the example of amalgam. What are amalgam? Compounds made by mercury. Amalgam of mercury in sodium. It will constitute this example. If we are talking about solid, you can take any example of alloys. Alloys are the homogeneous mixture of two or more metals or metals and non-metals. So here if you mix copper in gold, then it will constitute a solid solution in which both the components are present in the solid form. So here now I am going to discuss the next topic, that is the ways of expressing the concentration of the solution. What is concentration? Because we are here we are going to find out the ways of expressing. So what do you mean by concentration? First it should be clear the amount of solute present in the given amount of solution. So concentration निकालने के different ways we are going to find out. So first one is mass percentage, W by W. So what do you mean by this? Amount of solute, here I will write this, amount of solute present in 100 gram of solution. स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पे फोकस करना सॉल्यूशन के अंदर अमाउंट ऑफ सॉल्यूट प्रेजेंट इन 100 ग्राम ऑफ सॉल्यूशन, it is called as mass percentage W by W. If we are using that sentence 10% glucose in water, what do I mean by this? 10 gram of glucose is present in 100 gram of solution. That means उसमें water का amount कितना है? 90 grams. अगर 10 ग्राम हमारा ग्लूकोज है वहां पे प्रेजेंट, तो 90 ग्राम हमारा क्या प्रेजेंट है वहां पे? वाटर. ओके, सो व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला टू कैलकुलेट दिस मास परसेंटेज? इट इज द मास ऑफ solute अपॉन मास ऑफ solution. Mass of solute upon mass of solution into 100, because we are calculating the percentage. Next one is volume percentage. Exactly in the same manner, instead of mass we are taking the volume. If I using the word sentence like this, 10% ethanol in water. So what do I mean by this? 10 ml. Here I will write 10 ml ethanol. It is present in 90 ml of water. वाटर का कितना ml होगा 90 ml and इथेनॉल कितना है हमारा 10 ml. सॉल्यूशन कितना हो गया 100 ml. So it makes it to 100 ml. So what is the meaning of this volume percentage? That means volume. Instead of amount, I will use the term now volume. Volume of solute present in 100 ml of solution. Okay, got the meaning? Volume of solute present in 100 ml of solution. How we will calculate? What will be the formula of here? Here instead of mass, we will write down the term volume. Volume of solute upon volume of solution into 100. Same percentage we are calculating. Now the next one is mass by volume. As the name itself indicating, mass W, volume V. W by V. If the concentration is expressed W by V, that means amount of solute present in 100 ml of solution. Okay बच्चों, amount of solute present in 100 ml of solution. Suppose हमें यहाँ लिखा हुआ है 10% NaCl W by V in water. That means 10 gram. हम यहाँ पे क्या लिखेंगे 10 gram क्या है हमारे पास NaCl and 90 ml हमारे पास क्या प्रेजेंट है because we are talking about 100 ml of solution. So 90 ml हमारा क्या हो जाएगा वहाँ पे water. We are talking about here यहाँ पे हम क्या लिखेंगे 10 gram of NaCl. It is present in 100 ml of solution of NaCl. सॉल्यूशन का वॉल्यूम कितना है 100 ml और उसके अंदर NaCl का अमाउंट कितना प्रेजेंट है 10 ग्राम. So exactly in the same way we will write down the formula. Here we will write down the amount of solute upon volume of solution into 100 because we are calculating the percentage. So in this way there are three formulas: mass percentage, volume percentage and mass by volume percentage. Now fourth one, parts per million. This formula it is used when the solute is present in very trace quantities, very small quantities, and generally it is used in pharmacy or in medicines. Okay, if it is written 3 ppm of chlorine in water, that means 3 parts per million. मीन्स 1 मिलियन हमारा सोल्यूशन है ग्राम्स में, तो उसके अंदर 3 ग्राम्स हमारा क्या प्रेजेंट है क्लोरीन. ओके, सो व्हाट वी कैन राइट हियर, अमाउंट ऑफ सोल्यूट प्रेजेंट इन पर मिलियन, दैट मीन्स 10 to the power 6 parts of solution. Okay, अब यहाँ पे जब हम solution की बात करते हैं तो it is very dilute. So either we are talking in terms of water or we are talking in terms of solution, one and the same thing. So we are saying 3 gram of chlorine, it is present in 10 to the power 6 grams of water. So how we will write the formula? If we have to calculate in parts per million, the formula will be amount of solute upon amount of, here we are going to take this total mass of the solution. As we have written here, mass of solution into 10 to the power 6 because we are calculating in million. 1 million parts के अंदर कितना solute present है. Okay, and the next one is mole fraction. Suppose we are having a binary solution which is made up of two components A and B. Okay, if we calculate the number of moles of A and it comes out to be Na, and for B the number of moles it is Nb. Okay, now how you will calculate the mole fraction of A? That means it is the ratio of the moles of that component upon the total number of the moles. So If you are talking for A component, then the moles of A upon total number of moles, that means Na plus Nb. Okay. If you are calculating for the another component, then the formula will become Nb upon Na plus Nb. Okay, so in this way you can calculate the mole fraction of both the components. And students, one thing we have to keep in mind, the mole fraction of all the components in a solution, their summation is always equals to 1. So the mole fraction of A plus mole fraction of B is equals to 1. Okay, if there are n number of components, then also their summation will be equal to 1. Okay, now we are going to discuss the three important terms, that is molarity, molality and normality. So the first one we are going to discuss, it is the molarity. Students, what is molarity? Number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution. Number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution. Okay. Now, if you are writing it in the form of formulas, first thing for molarity, it is expressed by capital M. Okay. Now, number of moles, that is N, dissolved in 1 liter of solution, that is volume, it is expressed in N. So, how we calculate the molarity? N by V. This is expressing the number of moles, this is the volume of solution in liters. Okay. How we find out the value of N? By dividing the mass of the solute given in grams divided by its molar mass. Volume, it is already we had discussed the number of moles present in a given volume of solution in liters. And suppose if it is given in milliliters, then we will convert it in liter. Molar mass into volume in milliliter, and we will divide it by 1000. Okay. So here we had just changed little bit, made little bit changes in the formula. Now students, one thing more here, this W by V, the ratio W by V, actually it is representing the strength of the solution. So what is the strength of the solution? Amount of solute present in the given volume of the solution. It will be termed as its strength. So the formula of strength will becomes equals to M into molar mass. I should write it here. Strength is equals to M into molar mass. Okay, this we will be utilizing later on when we will discuss normality. One thing more, molarity, it is depending on the temperature, so its value changes. And if suppose it is written like this, 0.25 m NaOH, if somewhere it is written like this, 0.25 m NaOH. So how we will read this? 0.25 moles per liter. That means 0.25 moles NaOH के 1 लीटर सॉल्यूशन के अंदर प्रेजेंट है, और यू कैन से 0.25 moles per liter of NaOH in 1 liter of solution. Okay, so we can use the formula in calculating the molarity of the solution. One more formula we can write here so that it will be very helpful for you in doing the calculations. If the amount of solute is given in the percentage form, then there you will use this formula for calculating molarity. Mass percent of the solute into density of the solution into 10 upon molar mass. When there will be discussion of the questions, there I will tell you how to use this formula. Here simply note it down. Okay. Now the next one, it is a molality. molality, it is expressed by small m. And what is molality? Number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 kg of solvent. Here this molality, it is always calculated in terms of solvent. यहाँ पे हमने कहा था number of moles in 1 liter of the solution, volume of the solution we had considered, and here we are taking number of moles of solute in 1 kg of the solvent. So what the formula will become, students? Here let's write that m is equals to n, number of moles, upon the mass of solvent. So here I will write mass of solvent, and that too in kg. Now we will open this formula. N is equals to mass of solute upon its molar mass, solvent in kg. So here the same you are writing mass of solvent, and suppose it is given in grams, so you will divide it in by 1000, so as to get the value of small m. And the molality, it is independent of temperature. It do not depends on the temperature. The last one, it is normality. Students, this normality we are not having in our syllabus, but I will give you a little bit idea, because in our practicals in titration you will be reading these terms again and again. So you should have an idea what do we mean by normality. Okay, it is represented by capital N. Here we have written number of moles. Here we will write number of gram equivalents of solute in 1 liter of solution. Number of gram equivalents of solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution. So calculate the value of N. What will be the formula? Number of gram equivalents upon volume of solution in liters. Okay. अब इसको हम ओपन करते हैं. Number of gram equivalents, how to calculate? Mass of solute divided by its equivalent mass. Divided by its equivalent mass, it gives us the number of gram equivalents, and here the same volume in liters. If this volume it is given in milliliters, the formula will become somewhat like this: W upon equivalent mass into volume in milliliters divided by 1000. Okay. Now students, see here, everybody can find out the molar mass. If I am talking about, suppose here I am talking about NaOH, तो मुझे पता है इसका molar mass मैं कैसे calculate करूँगी? 23 plus 16 plus 1. So it will give me the molar mass of NaOH. I can easily calculate. But how to find out this equivalent mass? There is a formula. Equivalent mass is equals to molar mass divided by N factor. Okay. Now what is this N factor? देखो N factor निकालने के बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. जो बहुत common है, that I will tell you. Suppose in terms of acids. Acids के केस में उसकी basicity, it will be equal to the N factor. In terms of base, its acidity will be equal to the N factor. If you are talking about salts, then the total charge present on cation or anion, total charge present on cation or anion, it will be equal to the N factor. If you are talking about the oxidizing agent, if you are talking about the oxidizing agent or reducing agent, what are oxidizing agent? Which undergoes reduction. What is reduction? Gain of electron. So oxidizing agent कितने electrons gain करते हैं? So number of electrons gained. Reducing agent, that means they undergoes oxidation. Oxidation means loss of electrons. So number of electrons lost. Okay, so in terms of electrons, it will be calculated for oxidizing agents, reducing agents, and for acids, bases, salts, you can calculate it by these various ways. Suppose acids की example लेती हूँ मैं H2SO4. So what is the basicity? Number of replaceable hydrogen atoms. Here it is 2. So you just calculate its molar mass. I guess its molar mass will be 32 plus 64 plus 2. I think it is 198. Divided by 2. Okay. 32 plus 64 plus 2. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it is 98. Sorry students. It is 98. So 98 divided by 2, you will get this equivalent mass. Base, suppose example आप ले रहे हो NaOH. Number of replaceable hydroxyl ions, it is 1. So calculate करो इसका molar mass. 23 plus 16 plus 1. 24 plus 16, 40. So 40 divided by 1. So molar mass है हमारा 40. Divide करो उसको 1 से and it will give you the equivalent mass. Salt, if you are talking about NaCl, Na पे कितना चार्ज प्रेजेंट है? +1. Cl पे कितना चार्ज प्रेजेंट है? -1. So here you just calculate the molar mass and divide it by 1. It will give you the equivalent mass. Molar mass calculate करो, equal उसको n factor से divide करो, equivalent mass मिल जाएगा. Oxidizing agent which undergoes oxidation. Suppose अगर हम more salt की बात करते हैं, titration है हमारे. In this session we are going to have 2 titrations or redox titrations we are having. One it is of more salt versus KMnO4 and second one it is that of oxalic acid versus KMnO4. तो more salt की अगर हम बात करते हैं, what is the formula of more salt? Ferrous sulfate ammonium sulfate dot 6H2O. FeSO4 dot NH4 whole twice sulfate dot 6H2O. अगर हम इसका कैलकुलेट करना चाहते हैं कि व्हाट इज द इक्विवेलेंट मास, सो स्टूडेंट्स पहले इसका मॉलिक्यूलर मास कैलकुलेट करो. ठीक है. नाउ दिस इज द सॉल्ट, सो कैलकुलेट द टोटल चार्ज प्रेजेंट ऑन इट. ओके, आइदर डू लाइक दिस और इन दिस actually what is happening, Fe+2 जो होता है it gets oxidized into Fe+3. so how many electrons it has lost? 1. तो आप क्या करोगे, इसका मॉलिक्यूलर मास निकालो और उसको डिवाइड कर दो 1 से. ओके. अगर आपको रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट का निकालना है, सपोज KMnO4. KMnO4 जो होता है it is working as an oxidizing agent. KMnO4 जो होता है यहाँ पे देखो, this more salt it was working as reducing agent क्योंकि इसका ऑक्सीडेशन हो रहा था. KMnO4 जो होता है it undergoes KMnO4 जो होता है it undergoes the electrons gain, that is the reduction. इसके अंदर जो इसकी ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट होती है +7 से कन्वर्ट होती है +2 के अंदर. दैट मीन्स इसका क्या हो रहा है, रिडक्शन हो रहा है. एंड देयर इज अ लॉस, there is a change in the oxidation number. It is +7 to +2. That means हम क्या कह रहे हैं कि it has gained. ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट है ये हमारा, तो नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स गेन, इसको मैं करके दिखा देती हूँ. how we will do it, MnO4 minus when it converts into Mn+2. 4 ऑक्सीजन है तो हम यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे, 4H2O कर देंगे. 4 into 2 8, तो यहाँ पे हम क्या कर देंगे 8H+. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे अगर हमें Mn बैलेंस है हमारा, ऑक्सीजन बैलेंस हो गया, हाइड्रोजन बैलेंस हो गया. चार्ज बैलेंस कर देते हैं. यहाँ पे हमारे +8 -1 है तो कितने रह गया हमारा चार्ज, यहाँ पे +7 और यहाँ पे +2 है. सो हम यहाँ पे क्या कर देंगे, +5 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. सो व्हाट वी आर सेइंग, addition of electron, that means this is an oxidizing agent, reduction has taken place. So what is the n factor over here? 5. तो इसका molecular mass आप निकालोगे KMnO4 का, उसको divide करोगे 5 से and you will get the value of the equivalent mass. So little bit idea I had given you about the equivalent mass. One more point here that I would like to tell you, it is the relation between normality and molarity. स्ट्रेंथ की वैल्यू क्या बताया था? स्ट्रेंथ का फॉर्मूला मोलैरिटी इनटू मोलर मास। अब यहाँ पे अगर हम देखें तो W upon V, it is again denoting the strength. So here strength, what is the formula of strength from here? Normality into equivalent mass is equals to strength. So I can write here normality into equivalent mass. Okay, now strength, two formulas we have got, so we will make it equal to M into molar mass. Okay, now with this I will calculate the value of N. N की वैल्यू कैसे निकालेंगे हम? इक्विवेलेंट मास को इसके नीचे ले जाएं, सो मोलैरिटी इनटू मोलर मास अपॉन इक्विवेलेंट मास। ओके, अब यहाँ पे देखो रिलेशन, मोलर मास के नीचे अगर इक्विवेलेंट मास आ जाएगा तो इट विल गिव द वैल्यू ऑफ N फैक्टर। सो हियर आई कैन राइट N. So what is the relation? N is equals to Nm. Normality is equals to this is the N factor and this is the molarity. So here one important relation we have derived, that is normality is equals to N factor into molarity. And one thing more students, the dilution equation, it is N1 V1 is equals to N2 V2. This we will be utilizing in various questions. N1 की वैल्यू हम क्या डाल सकते हैं? Nm. Okay, so it can also be written like M1 V1 is equals to M2 V2. Okay, so here I just explain all the formulas. Now students, you can start solving the questions and start finding out the application of these formulas. Thank you and goodbye.